You know what we call this in the United States? God's ketchup, right there.
I've never heard that before. I think he just made it up.
Is this how the other half lives all the time?
One of those things just never happened.
When somebody rips one, you know it, and it's not yours.
It was like Bugs Bunny when he like smelled the carrot soup.
That is the most random thing. What are you talking about?
It's impossible.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to OverSeasoned Vietnam. Oh, sorry. We did not make it to Vietnam as expected. I got my Vietnam shirt on, though. I'm still
You're trying to relive it.
Well, can't not relive it.
Yeah, you're trying to, what is it?
Pretend?
Yeah, I guess we can pretend.
Yeah.
It's a sad day when you realize that all of the incredible benefits of a passport that happens to have an American embossing on the outside in one of very few places in the world doesn't come with the automatic entry.
Yeah.
And just so anybody knows out there, in case you're planning to go to Vietnam, and thanks to all of our friends who told us
Also
this, because
didn't
I've
let
been
us know.
talking to people in Vietnam who were trying to get us to meet up with them, and I was about to let them know, hey, we're going to be in Hanoi on these dates. Or not Hanoi, Ho Chi Minh.
What you meant.
And it turns out, by the way, that you need to have a visa.
And it's not an automatic visa.
It's not an automatic
It takes
visa.
a few days to apply.
It's not like Egypt,
can't do
where
it.
you can just land and
Right.
pay for it.
Exactly. You have to have it before you get on the airplane, and it can take up to 3 days.
It can take 3
Who
to
knew?
5 days.
Sure.
3 to 5 days.
Unless
and,
you hire an expediter.
and even
that we
with an
found out later
expediter,
also.
it sounds like they have to actually generate this visa during normal
Business
government
hours.
operating hours.
Right.
And as a result, we are not eating pho. We are not having bumbleway. We are not eating bo tai chan, which I was very excited about. That little beef carpaccio
Yeah.
salad with
Banh
all of
mi.
the fixins on top. No banh mi.
Yeah.
I'm not
Getting
I'm
to
not
practice your
polishing up.
pronunciations.
Yeah, I'm not polishing up any of my
No hot sauce.
Chow
Which
bang.
your stomach's, probably
my stomach
Yeah.
might be thanking
a
me.
little bit, because you were going to overdo it. You're ready to overdo it.
I was ready for the carb load of all carb loads. I was ready to
Dreaming
just-
about it now.
I've been dreaming about it.
So we've
I'm not
made
angry,
we've
by
made
the
a
way.
pact to not have Vietnamese food until we get the chance to go.
When we
Hopefully
return
April, something like that.
to this beautiful part of the world, we will go to Vietnam.
Probably first.
And it's going to
Let's go there
taste
first.
that much better. Do you
Yeah.
really believe? See, and this is the thing, ladies
It's
and
hard.
gentlemen. Tony is such a fan of pho.
Such a fan.
Tony is like, I think if Tony had like one of his few comfort foods,
You didn't like it for years. You're like,
it's not that
you're
I
going to go take
didn't-
a steam bath and pho.
It's
All
not.
right.
I've always liked pho.
No,
I've always liked pho.
just never wanted to actually eat
But
it with me ever.
I have never,
You never appreciated it.
I didn't have the same experiences as you did. It wasn't until you started.
Experiences
you
and
s-
flavor? What experiences?
Dude, I growing up didn't get exposure to
No,
Vietnamese
there's
food.
no olive oil on it. There's no Parmesan.
Listen,
Reggiano. No.
Lydia Vega did her best, all right, to expose.
It's cheap.
First off, my father
Used to be
never
cheap.
touched a Vietnamese thing, I don't think, ever, right? Definitely every once in a while had a happy family, like every animal in oyster sauce with some baby corn and some water chestnut. Like that was the exposure to Asian food that I got from my dad's side,
Uh-huh.
was the once a month Chinese run that we
Yeah.
would do. And then my mom did her best, and I got Moroccan exposure. I got some Greek exposure. She had more of a Middle Eastern takeout thing going on. But Vietnamese food was never a thing. I never got that until I got to Philly, and I happened to live in
Yeah.
what we called colloquially Little Saigon. Now
Oh.
listen, when we got to Reno and you took me to that Vietnamese restaurant, I had very little exposure to it.
Ah.
Then I started to learn and appreciate. And I'm sorry that it wasn't the first thing that came up, but now I'm just as angry as you are.
Yeah, you want to go?
And I
You're
definitely,
like a Vietnamese food.
and I have a
colonizer.
feeling you're gonna You're gonna say you're not gonna have any Vietnamese
I can't give
food.
it up. I can't give it up.
Oh, so you've
It's like
already
part of
given up?
yes.
You started by saying, "Hey, since we didn't go on this trip, we're not I'm not gonna have any
It's gonna be
Vietnamese food."
difficult. It's gonna be difficult. It's part of I go every Friday. I drop
Every
the
Friday?
every Friday.
For Friday?
For Friday, I drop my kid off at school. And then I do a few calls on the way to the gym. Then I go to the gym. Then I go get pho. Like that's a little bit further.
It's further for pho on a
Further for
Friday?
pho. But then I have that. And then I drive all the way back to the office, write some emails so people think I've been in there working for all day.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And then, that's my Friday. So it's hard. What do I fill in the gap? Although I'm even wearing my Vietnamese shirt. I just couldn't, you know.
I like the
I'm gonna
festiveness,
I'm gonna
but there's nothing to celebrate.
I know.
There's nothing to celebrate.
There's nothing
And
to
to be
celebrate.
honest, listen, I understand, Tone. I understand that you have an addiction. Let's
It's
just
not
call it what it
well,
is. You have an addiction to
something's going out there out on Magati. Yeah, where are we?
it's BGC.
It's BGC. We're in
Turf?
BGC. There's a game. What kind of
see.
game? A football game. No, cool. So we are in a new podcast studio. We haven't been here before.
We're in a beautiful podcast studio. This is the
Sage
Sage
Studios
Studio.
in BCG. And the
In
date is,
BGC.
let's do a little
BGC.
timestamp too. So the date is the 23rd of November, almost getting
Otherwise
Thanksgiving
known
time.
as the day we should have been leaving Vietnam. And again, Tony,
What?
I will not. I'll stay strong. I'll stay disciplined. I will not have summer rolls. I will not have, like I said, no bame, no pho,
Mm.
no botachan, no beef and watercress. No, I'm essentially naming off all the things,
It's
my
hard
favorite
because in
things.
Philly, you got a lot of great spots. When you do go to
Oh,
Philly, there's a lot of, that's where we'd have our business meetings.
Cafe Diem,
Yeah.
you got Nam Phung,
Yeah.
Ballet,
I
the
just call
best
it 6th
bakery.
6th Street Market, 6th Street Strip Mall and 12th Street Strip Mall. That's
Oh,
where I go.
I miss
But
them.
I think instead of my Fridays thing, I will go to, there's this
Now you
butcher
go
shop.
every day?
Well, now this butcher shop you liked, you're going to have a little story about you wanted to talk about.
Oh, well,
So if I go one way, I go to pho. If I go the other way, I hit the butcher shop in Cold Spring, New York. They have like this great sandwich Friday setup. So
do they do
I'll be
banh
okay. No, they don't do banh mi.
I didn't know
They
where
do
your
like
segue
roast,
was.
like butcher shop stuff, like roast turkey and cheese and roast beef or beef sandwich or all that kind of stuff. And I know you wanted to, relive a little bit of our experience there. So I thought that was a good segue.
I'm going to tell you what the segue
I'm gonna go left instead of right, and I'm gonna hit the.
see, but
rubber
I
meat
have
shop.
a very specific exit that I want to hit.
Okay.
So I was supposed to bring this story up in the
'Cause
belly of the beast.
We weren't gonna talk about Vietnam.
Because I was going to tell you about a very interesting experience I had.
Okay, save it.
And I was going to tie. No,
Save it.
I'm going to tie it all together.
Okay.
So I was telling Tony about this butcher shop experience I had, and we're going to start to bring it together now. So, I feel like Vietnam and Vietnamese food, I often associate it with beef jerky. There's not very many.
What do you not find a way to associate with beef
Philippines.
jerky? We'll be
Have you
like
ever
driving
seen?
through California, and you'd be like, "Oh, there's a good
Yes,
there's
because
a good gas station up ahead for beef jerky."
that is correct. Beef jerky is a way of life. Beef jerky is probably how the Wild West was conquered
Sure.
or developed or whatever you want to call it. Beef jerky is amazing.
It is amazing.
We all know this,
Have you ever
right?
been to Buc-ee's?
I have. And have you?
I have not. I've only seen the signs.
Holy shit. Oh, that's right, because we
Yeah.
drove through Austin that one time. Buc-ee's beef jerky.
Is it Buc-ee's brand beef jerky?
Check this out before we even go on our detour to New York butcher shop. So there is this gas station phenomenon called Buc-ee's. Many of you out there may have experienced this, and they sell everything from clocks and diapers with, little beavers on them to barbecue and gas and beef jerky. Now, the very specific thing about the beef jerky that you must know is that they sell it by the pound, and they sell it behind like a deli counter. And there's two different beef jerkies you can buy. You can buy the prepackaged one, where I think it's made by a co-packer, and it kind of loses a little bit of its integrity and texture. But then they also have like this deli counter where you can get the fresh beef jerky. It's not fresh, it's up, but it's made in store, let's say.
Coming to you live with fresh beef jerky.
Exactly. And dude, it is, I think at this point, from all of the beef jerkies I've experienced, and rest in peace Battalion, there was this one beef jerky from Reno, Nevada that was incredible. I had it one
It's
time.
called Rest in Peace?
No,
Battalion?
I'm saying rest in peace because I can't
Battalion.
find the brand anymore. It was called Battalion
Yeah.
beef jerky. And so anyway, it's hard to find a quality beef jerky. It is, because most of them have become ubiquitous, kind of like commercial co-packaged beef jerkies. And I feel like they all kind of start tasting the same, which is like
Sweet.
and like the texture
Do you like
becomes
the ones that are a little bit softer? Because they get a
those
little too
soft
soft sometimes.
ones. I feel like they're adding a chemical to
Yeah.
those to help break down the
I think
proteins
it's
or
just probably
something.
sugar.
And
Some kind of sugar product.
but I think they also put maybe it's absorbic acid. I don't know. But there's a breakdown. Like, for example,
It's not as
there's
ascorbic acid.
Oberto beef jerky. What's the one? I have Trapper. Trapper's a quality
I've been having a
commercial
lot of
jerky.
Iowa Smokehouse. They have these like
Never had
long.
that one.
You haven't? They sell it
No.
at the Tractor Supply. The
Oh.
Tractor Supply store. They have a nice little display there. They have like long sticks that are really thick. I like them.
Really?
Yeah.
Our buddy Ronnie also has been on a beef jerky kick. And I think it started with the story I'm going to tell eventually. But this is all to say that beef jerky at Buc-ee's, the chef's truc, right? Or, the insider, the OverSeasoned insider way to do it. Don't buy the prepackaged one. Actually go to the counter and get the behind the counter jerky. It is delicious. It is probably at this point, still today, my favorite beef jerky available in the United States, aside from the one I'm going to tell you about. And the reason that I even bring up this beef jerky thing is because every time people ask me, hey, I'm going to be in the US and I want to get a gift for my husband, like Raquel was asking me, hey, what should I get for my husband? I'm like, get him beef jerky. There's not a man or woman, but a man alive that doesn't like beef jerky. I can't think of one. And are you really, I won't even go there. But so the
There's
thing
some
is,
crazy. I've gotten my brother-in-law some like beef jerky gift packs before, and they get a little crazy sometimes, like with alligator beef
well,
jerky.
and here's why I was going to bring
Moose.
this story up. What? Did you just say what?
Moose and alligator and
Moose
stuff.
jerky.
I've seen it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like that. I would try that. So the reason I bring it up, Tony, is because in most parts of the world, Spain, I mean, Italy's got braciole, right? But that's not beef jerky.
No.
And Spain has got cecina, which is like like a cured dried beef, but it's not beef jerky,
No.
right? It's like charcuterie style. And aside from the U.S. and maybe biltong in South Africa, I can't think of any place in the world, even in Asia, where beef jerky is a thing. Like you go to you come here in the Philippines, and there's no jerky. There's chicharron, right? But there's
Oh, is
no
there?
jerky.
There's chicharron.
I'm saying as like a meat, like a conserved meat-ish product.
Cows.
Okay, so in Thailand, definitely there's a culture of some beef jerky. They usually do like some fried beef jerky, and it's delicious.
Really good.
But every time I used to go to Bale, my favorite place for banh mi and for spring rolls in Philadelphia, they had a counter of this beautiful, super spicy, like incredibly, like subtly sweet. I don't know the ingredients. I was really looking forward to learning about it while we were there and trying to find it. But they have this really cool dried beef that essentially is like sticky, sweet, chili infused, and has a really cool texture to it. It's not quite as dried and chewy as the American version, and it's not as soft as like
Do you think they make it right there at that restaurant, or
they make
buy
it there.
Oh, really?
No, they make it there.
So then you can really control the moisture content, right? You can really, right when it's ready, you can put it out to sell.
Well, and so I was going to tell you a story about my reinvigorated love for beef jerky because
Did it have to be reinvigorated?
well,
I'm
it's
just
because
curious when it got deinvigorated.
it gets deinvigorated. It gets because look, you go around the United States, right? You travel enough, and you want a snack that doesn't have a bunch of carbs in it, is easy to travel with.
You have
And
like 5 bags of beef jerky in your backpack. At any
that
one
is
time.
correct. That is correct. An Old Trapper on a commercial basis is the closest thing in my mind to a quality beef jerky. Now, Jack Link's, can you eat it? Sure. Sure. Oberto, can you eat it? Sure. Right? But it's just not that good. It's fine, right? It's fine. So anyway, I asked you, I remember talking to you, and it's not Marbled, my friend. Marbled is not the place.
Oh, you're thinking of Barb's.
Barb's.
Yeah.
All right. So I go up to visit Tony in beautiful Beacon, New York. It's this beautiful upstate little town that's maybe like an hour outside of New York City.
Yeah.
And it's on the Hudson River. And you drive up there and you're like, wow, can't believe that New York has the potential of being this beautiful. I mean, there's like beautiful rivers and there's mountains. And you're like, what does this have to do with the New York that I've always envisioned in my mind? It's beautiful up there. And what's really cool about this area is that there's also all these cool little farm stands and there's all these unique little producers. And we went to this one butcher shop that Tony loves, that one Marbled that he talked about, that he's going to replace his pho habit on Fridays for their sandwiches. And I told him, he knows, Tony knows, everyone should know, I love beef jerky. All right. So if you got a beef jerky spot for me to check out, please let me know. At one point in my future life, I do want to start Beef Jerky Advocate, a review site for beef jerkies, just for the sole purpose of people throughout the world sending me samples of their beef jerky, so I can let them know how much I love it. Okay. Now, anyway, maybe what I can do is a rating system based on chews. How many times I want to chew it, right? A 1 chew is solid, right? Like an Oberto's a 1 chew, right? But maybe it'll go up to 5 chews because I don't want to swallow it because it's so delicious. Anyway, thanks for workshopping with me, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, so I'm about to leave Cold Spring and I'm going to go visit Ronnie. And at this point, I had a little New York down to Philly trip planned out. And Tony had mentioned, hey, there's this spot, Barb's, that sells beef jerky. You said, some of their stuff's good, some of their stuff's okay, but, they have it if you want to stop over there. Tony knowing how much I love beef jerky, and obviously me needing a little roadie snack, a little something to get me through this ride from upstate beautiful New York down to Philadelphia, which is about a 4-hour drive, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I leave and I take a couple little twisty turns through a neighborhood about 10 minutes away from Tony's house. And I pull up to this old school, beautiful butcher shop. And these are, it's sad in America, maybe throughout the world, but it's sad in America that I feel like we're losing these cool heirloom, locally owned stores, like in this case, a butcher shop. And I pull up. And it looks like an old house. Like I almost feel like there's like a vinyl siding on the side of it. Yeah. Like you could certainly see.
The first time I moved to Beacon, I was looking for it. I must have driven by 5 times because I wasn't sure where it was.
I mean, when you get to this spot,
sandwiches and stuff in there too.
I bet they do, man. I was loving it, and I'm one of the. I don't know. Again, I don't know if it's a man thing. I don't know if it's just a me thing, but I could certainly spend about at least a half an hour to an hour just looking at, discussing, and interacting with meat folk, right? Butcher shop people. It just feels good. Do you make this sausage? What do you put in it? How often do you make it? Do you have different flavors? Is there seasonal offerings? What kind of pork do you use? Is it locally raised? It gets deep. There's rabbit holes to explore. No?
Yes.
Yes. So in this case, I'm going in with one mission and one mission only. I'm in upstate New York. I'm surrounded by farms. I have a long ride ahead of me, and I cannot wait to sink my teeth into, literally, the product of choice,
They
beef
have a
jerky.
nice little display there, right? It's like right on top.
Nice little display. They have multiple flavors.
Yeah.
And boy, you did not sell this thing to me. It was one of those things where I'm like, should I? Should I not? You're like, it's
Really,
good.
I apologize for that because every time I'm stop in there, I always get myself like, how they sell it by the pound?
They certainly
By the
do.
pound? I'll get like a pound for myself, and I'll just keep on ripping off pieces while I'm making these.
Well, let me tell you,
It's nice to have a little brown bag of beef jerky versus like a cellophane pack with a little.
that's the thing. And that's why the Buc-ee's thing is so special to me. I can't wait to go back to Texas just for that reason, because there's very few reasons to visit that state, aside from my very good friend Cliff and barbecue and you know,
just
see,
you had a
watching
failed restaurant
Dallas
there once.
Cowboys
It's
fans
okay.
suffer is also incredibly
There's a lot
fulfilling.
of things to like about it.
There is, actually. Thank you, Texas. So I go into this spot, dude, and they have this incredible display going on, and they've got all kinds of sausages. They've got a dry-aged meat counter. And when you pull up to this spot, what I love about it is it kind of feels like you could be walking into like a 1940s, maybe they didn't exist in the 40s, but like an old school, like American, like homebred, like a VFA, right? Is that what they're called? Like or like an American Legion, like those old school like veterans bars where it's like $1.50 for like a wild turkey on the rocks, and it comes with like it just comes with a cigarette. Like, you know, those old school club bars where like, you know, it just, you could tell it was like built for fucking, I don't know, like the people who built the town, like the guys who built the bridge. Like it's a place to go hide away and just drink away your sorrows.
The suggestion for so long. It seems like it really made an
Dude,
impression upon
I
you.
freaking loved it, and I always mean to ask you.
Go back, and I could have brought some.
I always mean to ask you to bring some, and now you know. I've been holding this in for like a year. Has it been a year? It's going on a year.
Yeah, probably.
It is one of the hidden jewels of the entire country. This place is called Barb's. So let me tell you what kind of things they sell. They have beautiful smoked pork hocks. They have liverwurst. They have sausages, a lexicon, is it a pantheon? Can you say that? A pantheon? Whatever. They have sausages out the wazoo, pastrami, duck bacon, duck pastrami, pork bacon. They smoke their own, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. It was beautiful. And when you walk up to this beef jerky counter, the flavors to behold, okay? They have original. They have barbecue. They did some kind of Southwest, and they did a peppered. But the one, they have a sesame ginger.
That's what I liked. That's what I got. Sesame ginger. That was
And then they have ribeye jerky as well.
So usually you wouldn't see ribeye jerky because of the fat content, right?
But in this,
because jerky wanted to be leaner.
Why is that?
Well, because the fat doesn't dry and it can go rancid. But I guess if you're buying it fresh, it can't. If it's not sitting on the shelves for too long. And
in this case,
sometimes that fat though gets a little chewy.
Well, so I walk into this place, and obviously I was very happy with what I was seeing. And I think that the people behind the counter were not ready for the level of excitement, engagement, and interaction I was about to get in on specific to this beef jerky. And I walk in and I'm asking questions. And the beautiful part about the response from the team at Barb's was it proceeded to become a beef jerky tasting, a full-fledged sampling of all the delights that this beautiful American tradition, this heirloom, this gorgeous everything that is beautiful about our country, it came out in one fell swoop. And so I go into a deep dive with these guys about what they were doing with their beef jerky and how they made it. And the first thing,
because it just takes a lot of space. Were they just doing it on like oven racks?
So they have racks, as far as I can remember it, and you can tell just by what I'm looking at, they have like these racks that they're drying them on. And from what I remember, I think they said they use, um, I think they said they use top round for most of it.
Could be.
But I'm gonna have to. I don't want to misspeak, but because this is a while ago.
Right.
But more importantly, the first thing that came up to me was the same ribeye jerky ? Because of the same thing, the fat. I've made beef jerky at home. I think it was one of the first things I learned how to make on my own, aside from eggs and like roasted
Beef jerky
sausages.
was one of the first things. It's a little complex
Now
for
listen,
a
here's
6-year-old
how this
child
happened.
standing on a
I think
chair
I was
to-
8.
Yeah.
And since I had limited parental oversight, one of my favorite things to do as a child was to watch late night television, right? That old school, like what's on HBO after 10 o'clock,
Sure.
what kind of mischief can happen. But I'm also a weirdo. And that means that I also was into infomercials and infomercials.
Into infomercials.
Dude, Ron Popeil,
Dehydrator?
another American legend. Do you remember Ron Popeil?
No.
Of course not. Ron Popeil, right? Do you know Ron Popeil? Okay. Well, you should know Ron Popeil. He's essentially, who's the guy that paints?
Bob Ross?
He's the Bob Ross of culinary infomercials. He sold everything. He had pasta extruders. He had ice cream makers. He had all kinds of stuff. And the first thing that we ever purchased from this man, Ron Popeil, I don't know if he's alive, but if he is alive, tell him I said what's up. And dude, he had this dehydrator. And I forget, I don't think that the first purpose was to make beef jerky. I think the idea was we wanted to like dry fruit on it or something. But it was like, I think it came, like back then when you're like, and if you buy now,
Right.
then we'll throw in this and we'll throw in this and we'll throw in a tire jack and we'll throw in, like all this stuff. Well, I think the dehydrator that came with this was an add-on. Like it wasn't the thing we bought. I might have bought like a juicer because I was really into making sorbet back then also. Because my mom wouldn't let me.
Sorbet aficionado over here.
Dude, my mom would not let me get ice cream.
Not ice pops. Not just like freezing lemonade in those little
containers. That's
right.
another thing to buy, right? So my mom was, since I was a chubby kid, she was trying to help me stay healthy. And she wanted to ensure that my ice cream intake was low. This is also why my mother, love you so much, Mom, would make me suffer through the Neapolitan. Because she knew I only wanted the strawberry flavor, and she knew I wouldn't touch the vanilla and the chocolate.
You were that hardcore strawberry ice cream fan that
It's
you would not
just
touch the
so
chocolate or the vanilla.
boring. It's so boring. Now, if you mix them together, you can almost make a frosty
So
of your
boring.
own.
Come on.
The strawberry was the flavor I wanted, all right? But what I really wanted...
I could see you finishing the strawberry and,
yeah.
acquiescing to like enter into the.
It
what's
certainly
in the middle? The vanilla's in the
happened.
middle. I'm sure.
It
all got
certainly
destroyed.
happened, all right? It certainly happened. But as far as I can...
You didn't happily eat it.
I would sell it to my mom that I didn't like it because I just wanted mint chocolate chip. And that's all I wanted.
You probably sold her to her because it is what you did want.
Nah, no,
Yeah.
mint chocolate chip was my flavor back then. Anyway, so I think we got some sort of... my mom was also convinced that if I did a fruit thing, that it was healthier, right? Even though it still has sugar and all this stuff in it. So I went through a phase of making like strawberry, water ice or sorbet. I was making lemon. I was making watermelon. And I think that we bought like a tool that was meant for juicing, and it came with a dehydrator.
Got it.
If you buy now, and we bought now. So this dehydrator comes. And I'm like, what can we make in this thing? And I don't know how it came up, but beef jerky became the thing. And dude, looking back, I definitely was oversalting the fuck out of this stuff.
Soy sauce or?
Well, back then, it was, I had a whole system down. I would get really thin sliced flank steak because my mom liked to buy flank steak
Sure.
back then, right?
Flank steak's it's great because it's the right thickness. You don't have to mess with it. Just cut it.
Yes, you're right.
Right.
Exactly. It's like already meant for strips.
Yeah.
And back then, I don't even know if we had salt we had adobo, Goya adobo in the house.
You didn't have salt in the house?
I don't know if we did, man, because I think Goya adobo was the salt.
Gotcha.
So I did that, and I'm not sure if
Goya adobo cured meat.
So I did Goya adobo, and I don't know that soy sauce in the late 1980s, early 1990s, other than La Choy, had made its way into the.
Kikkoman. It must have
Not back then. I don't think there was, bro. And I think we might be able to look this up when Kikkoman made its way. Because Japanese food also, like sushi wasn't a thing in New Jersey or Philadelphia in like the early 90s. Maybe like on a very limited level. But the soy sauce you bought back then was, I remember La Choy being like the only choice you had.
I don't even
A lot's
recall that brand.
changed since then. So I would do that, and I would do Worcestershire sauce.
Yeah.
Because somehow everybody had that beautiful brown bag with the orange logo. I mean, that thing is incredible. Anyway, so this is all to say I've had a beef jerky fantasy affair, long-term relationship. I don't know what you want to call it. Maybe my first love for a long time, right? And when I got to Barb's, there was something about that beef jerky that brought me back to my childhood.
Nice.
And I'm talking to this, there was two guys behind the counter, and then there's like this kitchen off to the side at Barb's. And I remember very specifically that somebody was either back there making sausage or something, but you can tell they were more involved in the culinary aspects of the spot, of the butcher
Not
shop.
just running the register.
That's correct. And these other two guys were. And I got into a deep dive. And so these guys were excited. They started handing me samples. We're going in on it. And I get a sample of the original. And at first bite, I'm like, oh,
You're in the right spot.
something here is special. I look the guy in the eye, and he's all happy and proud because he can tell I'm really having a good time here. Not only that, but I'm buying half a pound at a time, which in beef jerky talk is like, I don't know, a bottle of Burgundy for each half pound.
Yeah.
I mean, it's expensive.
Yeah.
Beef jerky is expensive for a reason, obviously, because beef is expensive to start, and when you're dehydrating it, it loses a lot of its weight. So I take that first bite of the original flavor, and I say, there's something that brings me back. I'm like tasting this.
Think they snuck a little adobo in that?
Well, what I
seasoning
said
mix?
was, what do you guys marinate this in? And he's like, oh, it's like soy sauce. We do a little sugar, whatever. And I'm like, there's Worcestershire in here. And he's like, I don't know, but I can find out. And I'm like, no. I'm not asking. I'm telling you, there's Worcestershire in here. And it's not just Worcestershire.
What do you think in the Worcestershire is that called like
It's
the
lean
tamarind?
parents.
The tamarind kind of aspect of?
Well, so it's got this, it's like lean parents. Worcestershire has this incredible sweetness without being sweet. It's certainly sour. And it's also got this light, like anchovy paste funk in the background. It's like fish sauce before fish sauce was fish sauce to us guilos, right? Out in the world. And I'm like, this is Lean Parents. And he's like, I can find out. Like, he was just like, shut the fuck up. He kind of was like giving me like, he was having fun. He was excited. He was appreciating my excitement. But he also was like, yo, I'm the one who works here, pal. I'll tell you what's in here. Not like so smug, but a little bit like, no, I'll find out for you. And then this beautiful, incredibly sharp, just as enthused woman emerges.
Was it Barb herself?
I don't know if it was Barb, but this woman, this just knight in shining chef's jacket emerges from the back, and she goes, that is Lean Parents. And I said, oh, so is it? And she looks at me and says, I was getting in trouble from the powers that be, ye accountants of the world. They were telling me that we have to figure out how to cut back because it's obviously expensive to run this place. And they told me, hey, if you can skimp on certain ingredients, please do so. And she said, we're really proud of our beef jerky, but in this, for a couple weeks, we decided, hey, let's not shell out for the name brands and they decided to change the Worcestershire sauce. And she said, that was the biggest mistake I've ever made. And I'm like, if that's the biggest mistake you've ever made, then I'm in the right fucking place.
What was the mistake?
The mistake was because her accountant was telling her to pull back on ingredient costs. They had switched out lean parents.
Oh, they did it one time, and she went back.
Yes, and she said, obviously, I used it all because she's buying 5-gallon jugs of Worcestershire sauce.
What is that knockoff Worcestershire sauce?
There's plenty of them. Like I think
Cisco.
I think Heinz
probably
makes a Worcestershire sauce. I'm sure Cisco makes a Worcestershire sauce. House Recipe. I'm sure there's a bunch of Worcestershires, and we should do a Worcestershire episode. Maybe we should go to Worcestershire. But
we should provide Barb's a free shoebox account if they need to skip on the Worcestershire sauce.
So
we used to call it bug juice in my family, just because we could pronounce it. Yeah, hand me the bug juice.
Okay, that's a good one. So she said,
I think that my grandfather told me it was made from squished out bugs. That's why.
Oh, I see. Yeah. You might be right.
Could be.
So anyway, so the lady who was responsible for these recipes, not only did she corroborate my story and my palate and my sense of being a child again, the wonder that I was feeling in this moment.
She's like, I got a crazy one.
From the one side of the counter to the other.
She's pinging off your crazy for sure.
Dude, and then what was awesome was this very kind, very sweet, crafty Brooklyn butcher guy who was honestly along for the ride and having fun, but kind of trying to tell me he knows better than me. In that moment, I looked in his eyes. He looked back at me, and like a frail puppy, he looks at me and goes, I guess you were right. And I looked at this lady and I said, what else should I get? Because the trust, the bond, the rapport was deep at this point.
You need to do any more tastings. You're just going to load it up.
Well, she said, well, what you got going on? And I said, well, I'm going down to visit my friend and blah, blah, blah. And this beef jerky. She's like, you're going deep on the beef jerky, huh? And I said, yeah. And she's like, you better not leave this store without ribeye jerky. And then I tasted that one and the fat cap and the this and the that and the falling in love. And in that moment, I was like, are you married? And she said, I would usually find that question inappropriate over a simple beef jerky transactional. But I'll let you know, sir, I am seeing someone and I'm very happy. But if I wasn't, and I said, you go, girl. Anyway, and I said, after she knew what I was up to and where I was going, her next thing she told me, which she is just everything that is right in this world. She said, look, obviously you got a long trip and you don't want to have meat just hanging out in your car, aside from beef, unless there's beef jerky, right? But she said, there's another thing we do that's really special that I've never seen at another butcher shop that I think you should get. And I said, what is that? She said, lip balm. And I said,
the tallow lip balm.
Yeah. And senor, that lip balm, not only is it incredibly helpful on the lip and makes you feel like a warm blanket has been put on you.
Takes a real man to buy beef jerky and lip balm in the same.
Dude, but this beef tallow lip balm, I think I got the rosemary and thyme. There's one thing to get like cherry flavored lip balm. Is it
like a big tub? It's like a...
No, so I got like a little stick.
Because you can buy tallow there too, just for like cooking. Which is
dude, this lip balm, every time I put it on.
It's like in a chapstick?
It's like, yeah. It's like, it's got the little,
cool.
It's a little lipstick that comes in and out. Yeah. But it's like savory. It's like.
That is so up your alley.
Oh my God, up my alley. It's honestly, I think about it all the time. I think about her all the time.
Do you have someone? Do you travel with it? Do you need me to send you more?
Yes, right. Yes, and yes. The thing is that someone near and dear to me also fell in love with this slightly savory lip balm I have, and it was stolen from me.
Oh no!
It's currently in a different country.
Who would steal such a thing?
I don't know. Somebody who's
Somebody
into
else's
good
lip
things.
balm, even if it's not rosemary.
Well, listen,
It's that good, ladies and gentlemen.
it's that good, right?
You could
So
eat it too if you wanted to.
I would have to say, look, Barb's, you are that
You could
to
like
me.
put it on your lips and like spread it on your toast.
You are a genius, Tony Iazzi. You know it. You know it. So anyway, yes, Tony, I want the people of Beacon, I want the people of upstate New York to know that you're sitting on a gold mine. You are in the bastion of beef jerky, and you may not
It's
even
one of
know
the best beef jerkies you've had. It sounds like.
Dude, it is top
you are-
3 beef jerkies in my life.
Wow.
Yes.
All right.
And I can't stop thinking about it.
I will. I'll definitely be back there.
Will you bring me some?
Yes.
You will.
Depending. If you're good.
Listen, I won't
I'll
eat
hold it in
pho.
my bag and just say,
Oh God!
what have
Will you
done
do
for
me a
lately?
favor? When the next time you go in there, will you see if
I'll send
that
you
lady?
photos of myself enjoying it.
Oh my God! Listen, as long as somebody's enjoying it, that's a good thing. And the lip balm. Look, that lip balm is special. It really is. It's natural. You look at the label, and it says beef tallow, and then whatever flavorings. You look at like a chapstick one. You look at the ingredient list. It's like longer than the Bible.
Yeah.
You're like, how can so many things fit in this little tiny container? And you look at at this one, and it says beef fat and flavorings. And then once again, you have to think to yourself, God, Cal, you are so good to us. You are so good to us. So anyway, I wanted to save this for Vietnam because I was hoping we could do it over a bag of delicious beef jerky.
If there's anything I'm sure about, it's that we will talk about beef jerky again on this podcast. So I'm not worried that we won't get to it at some point in the future.
I will also say that very specifically, condiments matter. I know you haven't heard me say this before, but condiments
You're just wedging
matter.
condiments into every conversation.
No, but listen, it's very specific.
I have a question on the beef jerky front before we start
Okay.
talking about A1 sauce for the 5,000th time.
It was you, not me.
Did not. I said it, but you brought up the condiments first.
All right.
What do you think about the alternative meat jerkies, such as turkey? And things like that.
I thought you were going to say like such as like some not beef jerky brand that's not beef. It's like vegetable.
Turkey's not beef. Oh, you mean like not like pretending to be beef?
Yeah, like
beef.
there's like mushroom ones and stuff, and it's just like just call it
Dry.
mushroom depression, right? Call it we didn't have access to the right stuff, so we're tricking you and all other people with something that's inferior. Call it that. Anyway, turkey jerky, I like it.
Yeah.
Deer jerky, also like it. I've had chicken jerky, made me feel weird on the inside.
I agree. It's
because
a little bit odd.
and it's translucent and see-through.
Yeah.
But I've had it and it tastes good. I think any dried meat product, when you really think about it,
How about salmon jerky? I've seen some fish ones.
I've had that too.
It's not really
Not
jerky,
my
though.
yeah.
It's not really
What
jerky.
what
Just
would
like
you say that
cured
is?
salmon product. Like
Yeah, it's like salmon candy,
salmon candy, like
right?
a bacon
Yeah.
fish type of vibe.
You know so I like them all, except for
Ostrich.
ostrich. I think I've had that too. I like that too. I think I've had venison. I've had caribou. I've had all kinds elk. I've had all kinds of jerkies. Alligator.
Beef is the best, though. Yeah, it's
I
the
think beef is
standard.
the best. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the one I can eat and won't eat and makes me feel weird about myself that I've actually even tried it. Oberto, I think it was Oberto, went through this thing where they were like selling like bacon jerky, and it was like coagulated beef like in like a cellophane, and I was like, oh, bacon's always good, and I like bought it, and they figured out how to not make it crispy. You know what I mean? It was like
Flabby bacon jerky. That's weird.
It was so
I think that
sad.
most of my jerky experience, there's a lot of jerkies out there now. A lot. I feel like the cut is obviously so important.
It's
like to
certainly
get it so that it's not too tender, right? It still has some bite to it, but it's also not too stringy.
I agree.
You
It's
know?
really important. You know what we should do? We should do like a
I like the long strips, right? I don't like it when it gets too small and I don't know, detritusy.
Listen, the ribeye jerky experience at Barb's, it was kind of like I was reborn. I was like, wow.
Did any of this make it to your destination?
Oh, and dude, how could I forget? They did like this incredible rosemary wine flavored one that, like, you know, just like a what do you call it? Like a fancy one, like a soigné jerky. It was like a red wine infused one that was also fantastic. And that's the first one I gave to Ronnie because it did make it down there. And long story short, as we pontificated over this jerky with a beautiful glass of champagne, and we're
Champagne.
dude, we were
Is that
drinking
song?
wines, and Ronnie's like, wow, never did I think that I would have had a beef jerky
Champagne-worthy beef jerky.
perfectly made for wine.
That's interesting.
And
Perfectly
then,
made for what? But champagne.
like, it just, the flavors, it was just like, you know, like a beef bourguignon with
Yeah,
all like
that's what I
those
was gonna say.
savory.
It sounds like a beef bourguignon in a stick.
It was exactly like that, but it was in jerky form. And pinky up, it was like the perfect,
Pinky up.
yeah, it was like a perfect little bite as we were making dinner. And I think since then, Ronnie has been on a long journey trying to replicate his experience from Barb's. I don't know if he's done it. I know he's definitely found some good flavors. He's even done a little bit of a Montana deep dive because
Continues.
the Instagram gods found him, and now he's like constantly getting beef jerky ads. So he shared with me, and we've had some good ones. But Tony, you hold the keys. You hold the keys.
I didn't realize it took you. We had to wait a year for the podcast to tell me. Like,
We never talk anymore
I know.
as friends. Now we just save it now for this.
True.
So I'm glad that you had the patience. I'm glad I had the patience. And yeah, if Barb, if you're out there, thank you. Thank you for all you
I
do.
love you, Barb.
OverSeasoned Podcast was brought to you by Over Easy Office, outsourced bookkeeping solution.